Have you ever looked down on someone and later realized life has a way of humbling us all? This is a story you will never forget. Before we continue, kindly like, share, and subscribe to get more stories each time it's being uploaded. In a bustling town filled with noise and rushing footsteps, there lived a young man who believed he was far more important than everyone around him. He wore expensive clothes, walked with an air of arrogance, and thought wealth gave him the right to treat others however he wished. Every morning, a frail old woman sat quietly beside the market road selling handmade candles. Her stall was simple, just a small wooden tray and a faded cloth, but she arranged her candles with pride, as if they were treasures. Most people passed her without noticing. But the young man? He noticed, just so he could mock her. Still selling these useless candles? Why don't you give up? He would laugh loudly, making sure others heard. The old woman never replied. She simply smiled, a soft, tired smile, and whispered, "Light always finds those who need it." The young man scoffed. In his eyes, she was weak, poor, and insignificant. Her smile annoyed him because he thought she had no right to be happy. A storm rolled into the town, sudden, fierce, merciless. Businesses shut down, the electricity failed, and the entire marketplace was swallowed by darkness. The young man, trapped in his shop with failing lights, panicked. He had customers inside, and without light, he couldn't work, couldn't sell, couldn't impress the world that fed his ego. He searched everywhere for candles. Every store was closed. Every house had locked its doors from the storm. Then he remembered. The old woman. Reluctantly, he ran through the rain to her usual spot. His shoes soaked, his pride soaked even more. To his shock, she was still there, quiet, calm, sheltered under a small umbrella. Her candles shone softly in the storm's darkness. When she saw him, she smiled the same gentle smile. "You must need light," she said. He swallowed his pride and nodded. She carefully handed him a bundle of candles, each wrapped with care. "Take them," she whispered. "No price, they're a gift." The young man froze. After all the times he mocked her, she still chose kindness. "Why would you help me?" he asked, trembling with guilt. The old woman looked at the stormy sky and replied, "Life is too short to repay disrespect with disrespect. Everyone needs light, especially those who live in darkness without knowing it." Those words pierced him deeper than any insult ever could. The next day, the storm had passed. The young man went to find the old woman to pay her back, properly, respectfully. But her usual spot was empty. Only her small wooden tray remained, with a note placed carefully on top. He stood there for a long time, realizing the truth. He wasn't better than her. He wasn't richer. He wasn't stronger. He was the one who needed guidance. She was the one who had given it. Slowly he changed. He became kinder, humbler, more aware of the people around him. And every evening, he lit one of the candles she had given him. A reminder that respect costs nothing, and mocking those who struggle is the fastest way to lose your own humanity. After the storm and the lesson it brought, the young man, now humbled, changed his life completely. He treated customers with patience, strangers with respect, and those who struggled with compassion. But there was one thing he could not change. Every morning he went to her old spot. Every evening he left disappointed. Some said she had moved to another town. Others whispered she was too old to continue selling anything. A few believed she simply disappeared like a wandering angel who appears only when needed. But he needed closure. He needed to thank her. He needed to apologize. It weighed on his heart like unfinished business. It was a woman he had never seen before, much older, but with warm eyes. "You're the young man who has been looking for her, aren't you?" she asked softly. His heart jumped. "Yes. Do you know where she is?" "I've searched everywhere." The woman nodded slowly. "Follow me," she said. "But prepare your heart. Kindness often leaves quietly." He didn't understand what she meant. He followed anyway. The yard was simple. The walls were cracked. But the place felt peaceful. Inside, the scent of candle wax still lingered in the air. The woman turned to him. "She lived here," she said. "She had no children, no family. But she never complained. She believed her purpose was simple: to bring light into dark lives. His eyes stung as he remembered her gentle smile. "Where is she now?" he whispered. The woman placed her hand on his shoulder. "She passed away, tightly, a week after the storm." Those words broke something inside him. He sank onto a small wooden chair, head lowered, heart trembling. He had been too late. "Sheila something, for you?" "For me?" he asked, confused. "How did she even know my name?" The old woman smiled. "She didn't need your name. She simply called you the lost young man with the heavy heart. She believed you would come searching one day." She handed him a small, worn-out box. His hands shook as he opened it. Inside were Sparkles, a single candle. Sparkles, a handwritten letter. He unfolded the letter carefully. "Do not carry guilt, my child. Carry wisdom. It is good that you felt regret. It means your heart is alive. But never forget, humility is not something you practice once. It is a light you must relight every day. If you wish to honor me, do for others what no one did for you. Be kind first. Ask questions later. Judge never. Your life will grow brighter every time you help someone who cannot repay you." He left the house with the box pressed to his chest. But he was not the same man who entered. He didn't just change his behavior. He changed his purpose. From that day, Heavy Checkmark helped struggling vendors. Heavy Checkmark offered free meals to the homeless. Heavy Checkmark paid school fees for children in the neighborhood. Heavy Checkmark protected the elderly who were often ignored. Heavy Checkmark became the quiet guardian of those life had forgotten. He finally understood. The old woman didn't just give him candles. She gave him a mission. She passed her light into his hands. And he made a silent promise. "I will keep your light alive. For as long as I breathe." Time changed him. Not just his habits. Not just his attitude. But his heart. He had become known in the town as the man who helps everyone. The man who listens. The man who never turns anyone away. People respected him. Some admired him. And a few couldn't understand him at all. But he didn't care about praise or confusion. He cared about light. The same light the old woman had once placed in his hands. And every evening, he lit the last candle she had left him. Not to brighten his home, but to remind himself of the day he changed. At the edge of the market, he saw a teenage boy, loud, arrogant, overconfident, mocking an elderly man who was struggling to set up a small fruit stall. The teen laughed loudly. "Old man, give up. Your fruits look older than you." People watched, but no one intervened. Some shook their heads. Some smirked. Some walked away. But the young man, now older, wiser, felt something twist in his chest. He wasn't watching that boy. He was watching his younger self. That same cruelty. That same ignorance. That same lack of empathy. Life had brought him the same test he once failed. But this time, he knew what to do. That he didn't yell. He didn't shame the boy. He didn't react with pride or anger. Instead, he gently placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "Come, walk with me." The boy frowned. "But who are you?" "Someone who used to be exactly like you." The boy hesitated but followed, confused and curious. They walked a few steps away and the man said, "Do you know what you just did?" The boy shrugged. "Just a joke." "No," the man replied softly. "You mocked someone who never harmed you. You hurt someone who is already struggling. You laughed at someone who deserves respect." The boy rolled his eyes. "Why do you care? It's just life." The man nodded. "Just. And life will teach you, whether you're ready or not." He took out a small candle from his pocket. He always carried one now, symbolic, like a reminder. And he placed it in the boy's hand. "Do you know who taught me about kindness?" he asked. The boy shook his head. "A woman I mocked every day," the man said. "She never insulted me back. She never raised her voice. She gave me light when I needed it the most. And then she left this world before I could thank her." The boy looked down at the candle. "That candle you're holding," the man continued, "is the same thing she sold to survive. And it's the same thing that changed my life." The boy's face softened. His arrogance faded. His voice cracked. I didn't know. None of us do, the man replied, until life forces us to see. He walked back to the elderly fruit seller, not to mock him again, but to help him arrange the stall, to lift the heavy boxes, to apologize. People watched in silence. Some smiled. Some were surprised. Some felt their hearts warm. As they worked together, the old man whispered, "Thank you, son." And the boy, for the first time that day, sincerely replied, "I'm sorry." The older man, once arrogant, now wise, stood at a distance, watching quietly. He finally understood what the old woman meant when she wrote, "Kindness is a light you must relight every day." He had kept her light alive. And now, he had passed it on. Karma had come full circle. Not with punishment, but with growth. With maturity. With transformation. The boy would never be the same again. Just like the man once was. Somewhere. In a way only the heart understands. The old woman's light continued to shine. Life always gives us back what we give to others. One day, you will stand in front of someone, doing the same thing you once did. And in that moment, the question is not what they will learn, but who you have become. The world changes when one person chooses kindness, and keeps choosing it every single day. Choose kindness every day and save the world. Subscribe and follow for more videos.